Another day, another species groveling before the Galactic Concorde. Boring. I'm Zara Quillpoint, 400-year veteran reporter for the Stellar Chronicle, and I've seen countless trials in the Celestial Forum. The Concorde loves its power trips. Slap sanctions on newbies, keep the old guard smug. Humanity's trial was supposed to be routine, guilty of being too ambitious, restricted expansion, the usual. The forum's crystal spires gleamed under veils of golden light, seating coiled like a galaxy's arm. Representatives from 250 species packed the tiers, their murmurs a dull hum. Hovering prisms cast an austere glow, and the judgment bells loomed above the central dais. Arbiter Kleros Varn, a Zorathian with scales like molten silver, struck his staff thrice. This tribunal addresses violations by species human origin Earth, he boomed. The accused will approach. And then, everything changed. Ambassador Elias Kane strode to the dais with a swagger that screamed trouble. Most species tremble before the Concorde. Kane, a wiry human with jet black hair and a plain gray suit, looked like he was here to negotiate a bar tab. Elias Kane, Earth and Colonies, he said, voice smooth as steel. I hear you've got complaints. Complaints? The chamber buzzed. Was this human mocking the conquered? Kleros's scales bristled. These are grave charges, Ambassador. Your species faces serious consequences. Kane's lips twitched, a smirk that didn't reach his hazel eyes. Grave, huh? Let's hear him. Prosecutor Veltar Kor, a Cylon with glowing tendrils and a reputation for shredding defenses, glided forward. Humans, he hissed, tendrils flaring, have breached statutes 19, 64, 112, and 305, governing expansion, technology, resource use, and cultural interference. The chamber tensed, but Kane just leaned back, unfazed. Quar's tendrils pulsed, projecting holograms of human colonies. In 85 years of FTL travel, humans have claimed 22 worlds, exceeding the permitted 9. Their population grows exponentially, not linearly as mandated. They've developed AI systems beyond authorized limits and mined resources without Concorde oversight. He paused, voice dripping venom. Worst, they've spread their chaotic ideologies to 15 protected species. Gasps rippled through the tiers. I leaned forward in my booth. Humans were fast, but this fast? Kane didn't flinch. That's your list? Sounds like we've been busy. The chamber erupted in clicks and hisses. Kleros slammed his staff. Silence. Ambassador, your levity is inappropriate. Kane shrugged. Inappropriate's my specialty. But let's talk facts. Your treaties, written by the Concorde's founders, aren't exactly fair, are they? The audacity. I scribbled faster. This human wasn't just defending. He was attacking. Your treaties ensure no newbie challenges the big players. Kane continued, tapping his wrist pad. A hologram appeared, showing conquered founding species expansion rates. Zorathians colonized 29 worlds in their first century. Cylons 35. Humans get capped at 9. Why the leash? Kor's tendrils spasmed. Those were different times. Were they? Kane's voice sharpened. Plenty of worlds out there. This isn't about stability, it's about control. Murmurs grew, especially from lower-tier species. Kleros's scales darkened. You overstep, Ambassador. The prosecutor will proceed. Kor, regaining composure, shifted holograms to human AI cores. Your technology violates Statute 64, leaping past approved curves. Kane grinned. We're quick learners. Is progress a crime now? I stifled a chuckle. Kor's tendrils were practically nodding. This wasn't a trial. It was a verbal cage match, and Kane was landing punches. Kor pressed on, holograms showing human warships with sleek designs. Your fleets rival Concorde standards, built in secret, violating tech protocols. Kane didn't glance at the display. The galaxy's rough. We've got pirates, rogue AIs. You expect us to fly paper ships? You threaten balance. Core snapped. Whose balance? Kane shot back. The Concords, where founders hoard power and mentor us into submission? Several mid-tier reps nodded, their species long stifled by Concord rules. Core's tendrils dimmed. Your cultural interference is undeniable. 15 species adopt human governance. Democracy. Chaos. Kane laughed, a sharp bark. They asked about our systems. We shared. You call that interference? Sounds like you don't trust your protected species to think for themselves. The chamber buzzed louder. I jotted. Humans rewriting the script. Kane wasn't just defending humanity, he was dismantling the Concord's moral high ground. Klyros pounded his staff. Enough, Ambassador, you face charges, yet you accuse the Concord. Kane's eyes gleamed. I'm pointing out the obvious. Your system's rigged to keep newcomers down. Expansion limits, tech caps, cultural bans, all designed to protect the founder's grip. He tapped his pad, showing trade data. Concord mentorship funnels 60% of new species resources to founding worlds. Protection or exploitation? Lower-tier reps chittered in agreement. Core's tendrils flared. You signed the treaties. Under duress, Kane countered. Join or be isolated. Some choice. The chamber's hum grew feverish. I noted. He's turning the crowd. Klyros's voice strained. The prosecutor will focus on evidence. Quor, rattled, showed human mining ops. No environmental oversight. Kane shrugged. Our methods restore ecosystems faster than Concord standards. Check the data. Quor froze, tendrils limp. This human had answers for everything. Kane's hologram shifted, showing human restoration projects. Lush worlds reborn. We mined, sure, but left planets better. Your oversight's a bureaucratic chokehold, not a safeguard. Quor sputtered. You bypass Concord authority. Because it's inefficient, Kane said, voice cutting. Your rules slow progress, not protect it. Mid-tier reps whispered excitedly. Species stifled by red tape. Klyros's scales twitched. This is not a debate on Concord policy. Should be, Kane replied. You're trying humanity for thriving. Your real issue? We're not bowing. The chamber roared, lower tiers clapping or chirping. I scribbled. He's got them. Quor, desperate, switched to cultural charges. Your ideologies destabilize protected worlds. Kane's smirk returned. Destabilize or inspire. Those species chose our ideas. You're mad they're thinking for themselves. I leaned back, grinning. This wasn't a defense. It was a revolution, and Kane was its spark. Quor's hologram showed aliens voting in human-style elections. This is chaos, he cried. Kane's laugh echoed. Chaos? It's freedom. Those species wanted a voice. We showed them how. He tapped his pad, displaying Concord governance. Your council gives founders 70% voting power, despite representing 20% of species. That's your idea of order. Lower-tier reps erupted, some standing. Klyros slammed his staff. Silence. Ambassador, you test our patience. Good, Kane said. Your patience props up a broken system. Quor's tendrils drooped. You admit to cultural interference. I admit to sharing. Kane corrected. If that's a crime, half this chamber's guilty. Ever try Zorathian poetry? Silent cuisine? Cultural exchange isn't contamination. It's connection. The crowd's murmurs turned thoughtful. I wrote, he's flipping the narrative. Kane wasn't just defending humanity. He was rallying the galaxy's underdogs. Klyros's scales dulled, a Zorathian stress sign. Ambassador, you deflect serious charges with rhetoric. Kane's eyes narrowed. Rhetoric? Let's talk truth. Your treaties are chains, crafted to keep new species weak while founders profit. He projected a chart of resource flows. Newcomers lose 40% of trade value to Concord tariffs. Founders, exempt. Justice or robbery? Lower-tier reps roared approval. Quor's tendrils quivered. You twist facts. Your facts, Kane said, ignore reality. Humanity's built bridges, trade, tech, ideas, while you build walls. He faced the chamber. This trial isn't about violations, it's about fear. Fear we're moving too fast, connecting too widely, challenging your control. Silence fell. I held my breath. In 400 years, I'd never seen the Concorde's foundations shaken like this. Kane was turning their trial into their reckoning. Quar, flailing, tried a new tack. Your defiance risks sanctions, trade bans, fleet restrictions, colony oversight. Kane's grin was predatory. Sanctions? Bad move. He tapped his pad, and a hologram bloomed. A web of galactic trade routes, human nodes pulsing bright. In 85 years, we've woven humanity into the galaxy's economy. Our shipping tech runs 22% of Concorde trade. Our medical exports save billions across 80 worlds. The chamber gasped. I scribbled. Economic checkmate. Sanction us, Kane continued. And you tank 15 sectors, including founder economies. Your call. Quar's tendrils went limp. Klyros's scales paled. Mid-tier reps whispered, some smiling. Kane wasn't just defending. He was holding the Concorde hostage with their own reliance. This is coercion, Quar cried. This is leverage, Kane corrected. Your worst mistake was underestimating us. The chamber buzzed, and I knew. The game had changed. Klyros pounded his staff, voice strained. The tribunal recesses to review these claims. The chamber emptied, but mid-tier reps swarmed Kane, their gestures admiring, not accusing. I checked my sources during the break. Kane hadn't lied. Human trade networks were deeper than reported. Their innovations propping up conquered systems. Sneaky bastards. When the tribunal reconvened, the air crackled. Klyros returned, scales tight, authority fraying. We resume, he said, voice flat. The council seeks clarification. Translation, they're panicking. Quar, deflated, tried to rally. The violations stand, regardless of economic ties. Kane tilted his head. Do they? Let's check the fine print. He projected treaty texts. Statute 19 limits major colonies. Your definition? Over 2 million residents. Our 22 worlds? Only 5 qualify. The rest are outposts. Technically, we're under limit. Quar's tendrils froze. I grinned. This human was a rules lawyer from hell. Kane pressed on, hologram shifting to tech statutes. Statute 64 bans unapproved tech leaps, but Clause 12.4 allows advancements for species with proven adaptive needs. Earth's history, wars, disasters, proves we adapt fast. Our AI? Built for survival, approved by your own assessors. Tribunal members scrambled to verify, their faces grim. Kane's voice hardened. As for cultural interference, Statute 305 bans forced influence. Every exchange was voluntary, initiated by others, in neutral zones. Your charge? Baseless. Lower-tier reps cheered, their species long silenced. Quar stammered, you manipulate treaty intent. Your intent, Kane said, is to control, not govern. These rules are vague by design. Tools to punish whoever threatens your grip. The chamber roared. I wrote, he's gutting them. Kane wasn't just winning. He was exposing the Concorde's playbook, and the galaxy was listening. Klyros's scales trembled. Ambassador, you accuse the Concorde of systemic bias? Kane's smile was razor-sharp. Bias? It's policy. Your council's structure, founders with 70% votes, newcomers with scraps, ensures control, not unity. He showed a chart of voting power. New species contribute 55% of Concorde GDP, but hold 15% influence. Fair? Lower-tier reps shouted agreement. Quar's tendrils sagged. This is irrelevant. It's everything, Kane countered. You're trying humanity for succeeding where you failed. Building a galaxy that connects, not conquers. He faced the chamber. This trial's a farce, a power grab dressed as justice. But you've miscalculated. The silence was electric. I scribbled. He's rewriting history. In centuries of reporting, I'd never seen the Concord's authority so openly challenged. Kane was turning their stage into his platform, and they were helpless to stop him. Quar, desperate, played his last card. Defy us and face isolation. Your world's cut off. Kane's laugh was cold. Isolation? Too late. He tapped his pad, and a new hologram flared. Thousands of nodes linking human worlds to 62 species. We've built alliances outside your oversight. Trade pacts, tech shares, defense agreements. The chamber gasped. I checked my pad. 62 species, including mid-tier powers. Insane. Sanction us, Kane said. And you fracture your own economy. Our allies stand with us. Klyros's scales went white. Quar's tendrils collapsed. Kane leaned forward. Your worst mistake was this trial. You gave us a stage to show the galaxy your system's rotten core. Lower-tier reps roared, some chanting. I wrote, "Game over." Kane had turned the Concord's weapon into their downfall, and the crowd loved it. Klyros struck his staff, voice cracking. Recess. The council deliberates. The chamber buzzed as reps filed out, many clustering around Kane, their gestures eager. I dug deeper during the break. Human alliances were real, their networks tying 30% of Concord trade. They'd played the long game, and the Concord missed it. When the tribunal returned, tension choked the air. Klyros's scales hung limp. We resume, he muttered. Quar, a shadow of himself, spoke weakly. The violations may require reinterpretation. Kane's smirk widened. Reinterpretation? Or admission you're wrong? Lower-tier reps laughed, their defiance echoing. Quar's tendrils twitched. Your expansion still exceeds. No, it doesn't. Kane cut in, projecting colony data. Your own rules clear us. Admit it, or keep digging your grave. I grinned. This wasn't a trial anymore. It was a public execution of Concord arrogance. Kane's hologram showed alliance networks again. These 62 species, many your protected ones, back us. They're tired of your leash. He faced the chamber. This isn't just about humanity. It's about a galaxy where every species has a voice, not just the old guard. Mid-tier reps stood clapping. Klyros's staff strikes went ignored. Quar tried one last gasp. You threaten Concord unity. You threaten it, Kane shot back. Your system breeds resentment, not unity. We offer partnership, not submission. He tapped his pad, showing a new structure. Equal voting, fair trade, open tech. Humanity proposes reform. A Concord where contribution, not age, defines influence. The chamber erupted, lower tiers chanting. I scribbled, he's stealing their throne. Kane had flipped the trial into a galactic uprising, and the Concord was crumbling under his words. Klyros activated a silence field, a desperate move. Order, he roared, scales quaking. The field dropped, and Kane spoke calmly. You can't silence truth. Your system's collapsing under its own weight. He gestured to the crowd. These species aren't your subjects. They're your equals. Ignore them, and you lose everything. Lower-tier reps shouted, their defiance shaking the spires. Quar's tendrils hung lifeless. Klyros's voice wavered. This tribunal addresses violations, not reform. Then you're blind, Kane said. Your violations are symptoms of a dying system. Humanity won't kneel to it. He projected his reform plan again. We're ready to lead change, but we won't wait forever. The chamber's roar drowned Klyros's staff. I wrote, he's won the crowd. The Concord's grip was slipping, and Kane's vision was lighting a fire across the galaxy. Klyros, cornered, tried to pivot. The Council will consider alternative perspectives. Translation, they're terrified. Kane's eyes gleamed. Consider fast. Our allies, now 65 species, expect progress. I checked. 3 more joined during the session. Unreal. Quar, voice faint, muttered, your defiance risks chaos. Your control breeds chaos, Kane countered. Reform, or watch your Concord fracture. He faced the chamber. This trial was your mistake. You thought you'd break us. Instead, we're breaking your chains. The crowd roared, lower tiers stomping. Klyros' scales drooped. The tribunal recesses. Indefinitely, he croaked. Reps swarmed Kane, some offering alliances. I scribbled. History's turning. The Concorde stage, meant to crush humanity, had become their platform to reshape the galaxy. Zara Quillpoint, reporting live, had never seen anything like it. The old guard was done. 3 days later, the forum was packed. Drones broadcasting galaxy-wide. My editor said viewership was spiking. Everyone sensed a shift. Klyros entered, scales dull, pomp hollow. The tribunal has decided, he said, voice flat. Humanity's actions, while unconventional, fall within treaty margins. Translation, they caved. Further, he added, we establish a reform council, with human representation, to modernize Concorde governance. Kane's face stayed neutral, but his eyes danced. The chamber buzzed, lower tiers cheering. Klyros droned on. The Concorde adapts, ensuring stability and progress for all. Bull! They'd been outplayed. Kane had turned their trial into a surrender, forcing reform to avoid collapse. I jotted. Humanity 1, Concorde 0. The galaxy's underdogs had a new champion, and the old guard's grip was history. This wasn't just a win, it was a revolution. Post-session, I cornered Kane. From accused to reform leader in days. Planned this, didn't you? He grinned, all charm. Let's say we studied the Concorde's playbook. Flaws were obvious, arrogance mostly. I pressed. What if they reject reform? His eyes hardened. 65 species and counting back our vision. The Concorde reforms, or it fades. I nodded. You're talking a new galactic order. We're talking fairness, he corrected. No hierarchies, just partners. As he left, reps trailed him, eager for deals. My headline read, Humanity's Gambit, How Earth Broke the Concorde's Chains. Within hours, X posts exploded. Humans flip trial, #HFY. Reform movements surged, junior species demanding fair votes. Humanity kept building. Trade, tech, alliances. Not as supplicants, but equals. The galaxy was changing, and Kane's trial was its spark. In 400 years, I've covered wars, collapses, and coups, but nothing like this. Humanity, barely a century among the stars, didn't just dodge punishment. They rewrote the galactic script. Kane turned the Concorde's trial into their worst mistake, exposing a system built on control, not justice. His wit, leverage, and 65 allies forced reform, cracking a 10,000-year order. The Reform Council's work began, with humanity leading, not begging. Junior species found their voice, inspired by Earth's defiance. Was humanity naive or brilliant? The galaxy's fairer now, so I'm betting brilliant. They showed us a new way. Partnership, not dominance. Zara Quillpoint, Stellar Chronicle, signing off. If this shook you, like, share, subscribe. What hit hardest? Kane's zingers, the hologram, or the reform? Comment below, and let's keep #HFY blazing. The stars are brighter tonight.